Yes.
Pyrex and microwave
I'm
in the
out,
wrist.
G.
You probably think I'm baking cake when I'm working the whip. You probably think it's Pyrex.
Whole lot of shots followed after I bust your snot box with the Ciroc bottle. Shoot the fair one, mono a mono the clown. I pull it.
Welcome to the Senior Basketball Analyst. As always, it's Sports Stringer here. Today we're gonna talk about Kevin Love and the things that they should be doing, that David Blatt should be doing, and to get him more involved and to get Kevin Love to be closer to the Kevin Love that we saw in Minnesota, where he's a high volume scorer. So LeBron James has recently made comments at the NBA Media Day that he wants to get Kevin Love more involved, and of course he does. It's going to make Kevin Love happier, and it's going to make the team better. So when you have a star player like this, you don't want to see him with the low percentage, low output year that he had last year. We don't want to see that again from Kevin Love. And there are some simple things they can do to get him more involved, and then from there, it's just incumbent upon him to take it the rest of the way. So one really easy example, and one that you pops into your head right away, is the way that Chris Bosh was used. Now, when LeBron was in Miami. Now, I was of the mind that Chris Bosh was not utilized enough, especially not on the block. And I think that's a coaching mistake that Eric Spoelstra made. And there's no reason to think that David Blatt is going to do any better, because David Blatt is basically not a coach at all. What we can expect, though, is we can expect LeBron James to put Kevin Love in similar positions that Bosh was put in. Now, Chris Bosh is a much more talented offensive player than Kevin Love is. Chris Bosh can put the ball on the floor all the way from the arc and get to the front of the rim and finish with a dunk. Chris Bosh is a better post player. He's also a better shooter. He's just better all around in his game. But Kevin Love has a similar skill set, and playing with the same guy as LeBron James, in LeBron James, we can look at a couple of things. One of the first things that I'd like to see is I'd like to see Kevin Love get away from the pick and pop. Now, the pick and pop, we can use that as a weapon. They should use that as a weapon in Miami. But we want to see him roll into the basket more, especially as true rim protecting centers are being phased out of the game. There's a lot of teams that Kevin Love can finish with impunity against, even though he's not a super athletic power forward, but he is big and athletic enough where he can finish against most teams, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. And with him rolling to the basket, that will suck the defense away from LeBron James. So, here's a key example of here's a key example here that I'd like to set up with LeBron James and Chris Bosh from a couple of years ago. So, as you see on the wing, and this is against the best, one of the best defensive teams in the league in the San Antonio Spurs, and we have Tim Duncan here is responsible for Chris Bosh, and this is why I picked this example. This is Tim Duncan, man. This is a Hall of Fame, all defensive caliber guy. This is a great defender. So let's watch. So as Chris Bosh is going to come over, set the screen, and then bang, he's gone. And he's gone so quickly. He's gone so quickly that Tim Duncan doesn't really have time to react, because he's still staring at LeBron James, because he knows that DL needs help. Now, here's the thing. Again, I don't expect Kevin Love to be able to slip away. I don't expect him to be able to set that brush screen and then get to the rim as quickly as Kevin Love, or as quickly as Bosh did. But Kevin Love can still do that. Kevin Love is plenty talented enough and plenty good enough a player where he can do that. And hey, these kinds of things are so difficult to guard. They even work against the Spurs. It even is going to work against a great player like Tim Duncan from time to time. I want to see them doing that more often. I want to see that roll to the basket. I don't want to see just a steady diet of pick and pops and watch Kevin Love launch a bunch of three. Now, in situations where the defense is sagging and you get that opportunity to shoot the pick and pop, that's perfectly fine. And there's a case where that worked, to perfection. And that's last year with Dirk Nowitzki and Monta Ellis. for most of the season, they were the most efficient offense in the league. And, look, they don't have the offensive talent, or they didn't, I should say, have the offensive talent the Golden State Warriors had. The Golden State Warriors finished as the best offensive team in the league, but Dallas was really close. They were right behind them. And the reason, though, is even though they weren't as overall as gifted, you have two players like Monta Ellis and Dirk Nowitzki, it gets to be very difficult to guard them once there's a screen set and once defense is drawn. So here's a prime example of the types of things that Kevin Love likes to do. He likes to trail that break and then get that three right at the top when the defense is sucked in. So here's Monta Ellis. Here's a prime example of that. There's Monta Ellis.
Carrying a little bit more of the
and bang, look at and see that's over. That's the 3-pointer. You see that? You see that? You see the defense gets confused. And notice on that play. If you look at that play, look back and just rewind it yourself. Look back at that play. You notice Eric Gordon and Anthony Davis got completely turned around. They were both looking around like, uh-oh. And all it takes is that split second of confusion. Dirk's wide open at the top of the three. That's a Kevin Love shot. He loves that shot. That's fine. When the defense is just leaving you wide open like that because they get confused in that screen, and I'm telling you, more roles to the basket will create that. And we know that LeBron James, even more so than a Monta Ellis, who's a fantastic scorer, even more so than Monta Ellis, he's going to draw that attention. Finally, I want to show you one more thing, and this is something that I don't think that the Cleveland coaching staff is going to have the wherewithal to install, but I would like to see this because this is a time when you can call, this is the type of play you can call for Kevin Love, and not only is it something that he can be successful with, it's also a play that will, it's a superstar ego play. It's something that we can call Kevin Love's number and say, you know what, Kevin, this is your possession. It's not Kyrie's time. It's not LeBron James' time. It's a Kevin Love possession. Because we always have to pay attention to the egos. That's part of coaching. And look, a guy like Kevin Love that was the only dog in Minnesota playing with complete clowns like, Ricky Rubio and Nikola Peskovic playing with bums. We know a guy like Kevin Love is used to eating. He's used to eating all game long. So this is the type of play you can call for him. A big-to-big screen. I like the big-to-big screen because this is something that defenses don't practice against a lot. So they often make mistakes, and it will give you room to score. So here's an example, big-to-big screen that Miami ran for Chris Bosh, again, even back when LeBron was there, even though LeBron has nothing to do with this play. So let's check that out. So as you can see, the ball is Chris Bosh is on the weak side, and this is exactly the type of situation that Kevin Love is going to find himself in. He's going to find himself weak side a lot. Now watch what the Miami Heat do here.
Coming into the league, and they're not intimidated. They come out, they're very aggressive.
Now, if you notice, we're going to go back one more time, and I'm going to show you why Chris Bosh ended up so open, even though he was being guarded, but how he ended up just so open off something that just seems pedestrian. There was a lot going on here, so let's just go back.
But somehow he finds a way to score. Check this out. Boy, what the English put on that shot, outstanding. The awareness. Look, see how he looked when he's falling down. When he makes shots like guys are coming into the league, and they're not.
Now, you see this here. Once this screen is set, Humphries is a dead man. I believe that's Chris Humphries, but it doesn't matter. It's Philly. He's a dead man. He doesn't know what to do. Big screens always confuse the defense. Always confuse the defense. And then, bang, jump shot, you're dead. And see, this is the type of thing, and again, this is the type of play that when you run this, teams are not used to it. They're not used to a lot of big-to-big screening, especially big-to-big screening on the perimeter, especially like trying to do a side pick and roll. Doing a side pick and roll big-to-big, it confuses the defense. So I could very easily see a scenario where Tristan Thompson or I almost call him Kostakoupas. He's much better than Kostakoupas. Timothy Mozgov. I could easily see a scenario where Timothy Mozgov or Tristan Thompson is setting a big screen for Kevin Love and either giving him an opportunity to, survey really quick and raise up for the jump shot, or hit a rolling big, or he can then start to back down and see if he can create his own offense. Creating his own offense isn't a particular strength of Kevin Love, but against certain matchups, he is effective that way. So these are some examples of what I would like to see Cleveland doing next year. I do think we're going to see a steady diet of pick and roll, pick and pop. But what I would like to see is less pick and pop, more pick and roll. And I would like to see, some big to big screen. I think that would be a very effective way to get Kevin Love more involved in the offense and get him closer to that 20-10 season that we want to see from Kevin Love. So I'll tell you like this: look, if he's 20-10, 18-12, if he's getting something like that with Kyrie Irving and LeBron James, they're title contenders, and they have a real chance of winning it. I shouldn't say title contenders, a title favorite. If we're not getting that, then it becomes kind of a crapshoot. So that's what I'd like to see. So look, you like the videos, make sure you like them. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. SBA4THSTRING on Twitter, at SBA4String. So hit us up. We'll be doing these videos all season. So thank you for checking out the Basketball Analyst.
Oh yes, Sean Carter is nice, but Sean Price is the best. Sean gone, no Sean Dawn. Sean is a dawn I don't